What up? What up? What up? It's Ridley Podcast, man. My name is Randy Little. If you want to throw titles on this thing, I guess I'm the host of this here podcast. This is episode number 73. We getting pretty close. The end of the year episode should be episode 75. We did episode 50 in like January because I titled it "Get Rich or Die Trying." That's crazy though. I don't think we've skipped this year, and it's been fun. I hope y'all had a good Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving just came and went over these past 2 weeks. That in between episodes and all of that. So yeah, I hope that y'all had a good time with family, ate some good food, had some laughs, had some memories, saw some good movies. I appreciate y'all though, man, because the last couple weeks showed me through different social medias, through different apps, whatever, that this show got a bigger following than I thought. Like I thought we was getting together every 2 weeks, talking about a different topic, having some fun, having some laughs. You know, I'm spitting a little bar at the end of every podcast, and I would upload it. It would get a couple views, couple listens. But I ain't think it was really affecting nobody like that, man. But the past couple weeks showed me that this show got a little following. And I'm, for lack of a better word, like I'm humbled by that shit because I ain't think nobody was watching. I ain't think nobody was listening. But like I said, man, I appreciate it. We gonna keep going. We gonna keep going till the wheels fall off. I'm just gonna keep going. Like this shit could have like 500 episodes and about 3 people could watch it, listen. I'm still gonna do it. Like this shit is fun. On this episode, we talk like House of Gucci just come out, so we talk RidleyScott. The Last Duel we could have done in October. We was doing horror movies, and The Last Duel had come out, but House of Gucci came out. So I knew I was gonna have another chance. Before that, Nick gives us like a true to life event that happened to him recently. And it's very funny. Like, not for him, but it's very funny. Yo, but last 2 weeks in the physical media department. Let me see what came out the week of the 16th of November. Mulholland Drive got a 4K. That's a Criterion 4K. A couple Mad Max movies got 4Ks. Jungle Cruise came out. It looks like the Brady Bunch, the live action Brady Bunch movies got a Blu-ray combo pack. It's disgusting. The most recent Candyman came out. The Eyes of Tammy Faye came out. And then if I can get a little bit of refresh on here. I hate relying on the internet, man. I'm trying to talk to y'all. Blu-ray.com is bullshit. And this past Tuesday was just like catalog updates, man. Criterion dropped Citizen Kane, Uncut Gems, Menace to Society. They dropped those on 4K too. Like Criterion is starting to roll out the 4Ks. Evolution came out on Blu-ray. I probably said that shit last episode too. It was coming out, then it got delayed. So what we looking at? The 30th of November. The 30th of November. The only thing I really noticed coming out on the 30th of November is Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. But let me see. Man, the internet is not cooperating, man. This website isn't refreshing. So, let me see. Off the top of my head, December the 7th, Cop Shop comes out, Cry Macho comes out, Beavis and Butthead Do America comes out. It's a singular title. I want to say there's more. So every time I scroll on this site, you guys that aren't watching me, I'm looking like a fucking fool because the website doesn't want to cooperate. And let me see if I can get this one more time. See if I can hit December right quick. December. Is Rick and Morty coming out? Roger Rabbit's coming out on 4K. I said Beavis and Butthead. One Night in Miami that was on Amazon Prime earlier this year is getting a Criterion. Looks like Creepshow Season 2 is coming out. Ron's Gone Wrong. That was the big release I couldn't think of. Dear Evan Hansen is coming out. That looks like just about it for the next 2 weeks. Blu-ray and DVD and 4K. I'm never going to properly acknowledge 4Ks because I don't buy them motherfuckers. I don't care. Dick. The last couple weeks, as far as like new releases, Ghostbusters Afterlife came out. King Richard come out. I got both of those reviews on my YouTube channel. Thanksgiving weekend, so this weekend, this past Wednesday, Encanto came out. Resident Evil Welcome to Raccoon City came out. The reason for this episode came out. House of Gucci. Halle Berry directorial debut Bruised is on Netflix. I want to say like another like streaming movie. HBO Max dropped a new holiday comedy called 8-Bit Christmas. I'll probably watch that on the 1st. Yeah, man, when I come back, we gonna have the meat of this podcasting sandwich. We gonna have our Ridley Scott discussion. I'm gonna come back, spit a little something for y'all. It's Rec League Podcast. What up, children? We back. Post Thanksgiving. Tryptophan still kicking in. Hope y'all had good food, good family, good conversation, blah, blah, blah. Now we talking about movies again. Yeah, Melissa, say hello.
Hello.
Nicholas, say hello.
Hi.
Now everybody bow down to the yellow check mark. Mr. Eric Sigmund on Good Pods, Sigma Cinema Podcast. Right. Killing the game with the Planes, Trains review.
Thank you.
Yeah, so like I said right before we hit record, Eric, you on the clock, so you dictate the time. Before we get started on the meat of the conversation, Mr. Nicholas Q. Goodman had a very entertaining day yesterday, and I want to hear about that shit on wax. So go.
Okay. So I don't know if I've ever talked about it on here, but I talk about it with y'all all the time. My theater, the biggest theater around me, it's like the big one. Like every time I buy a ticket on Fandango, the app where you buy tickets, you purchase your ticket and makes you choose your seat. And it's nice because it, guarantees that you get a seat. So I click my seat. I'm usually front, not the front, but it's like the, middle section where there's like the bar and you can put your feet up. Like right there, like the middle of the theater, but it's like the front. And I get in the middle seat there every time. It's the perfect seat. Front, middle. Now, depending on what theater you're in, the seats change, like the letters and the numbers. But otherwise, it's like going to a concert. You look at the seat letter and you look at the number. Since the summer, they've been fucking around with this, you buy your ticket, it says you're in auditorium, whatever. And when you get there, you scan your ticket and you're in auditorium whichever. Go to a different auditorium and your seat number is now different in this theater because it's a different layout. Happened for the first time in July, and it's happened more and more and more. Anyway, it happened the other day, Tuesday. I went and saw Resident Evil and caught it. I said, ooh, let me double check. I'd already bought my ticket maybe a week prior. Went on Fandango, double checked and looked, and sure enough, auditorium was different. It said I was in auditorium 6, but I was actually going to be in like 12 or something. It was great. But I just did an exchange on Fandango, caught it, and just changed my seat to the right auditorium. So that was no big deal. But it did make me think, oh, let me check my showtime for Saturday. That was yesterday. I went and saw Sing 2, an early access showing. It was like a month early. On 31 years old, but I was like, I want to see it because I don't want to, it's so crowded at the end of December. I was like, let me see this now. I'm excited, even if I go by myself. Bought the ticket for probably like a month ago. Like as soon as they went on sale, it was like go November 27th. I was like, hell yeah. Bought the ticket, didn't even think about it at the time. Bought the ticket, chose my seat, whatever. So the other day they screwed up my Resident Evil time. It made me think, well, let me double check my Sing 2 ticket. And sure enough, they had changed the auditorium from Auditorium 12 to Auditorium 5. Now, I've been to this theater enough times. I know that these are both small auditoriums. So that shouldn't, if they move the seats over, it should just be the same seat in a different room. That wasn't the case. My seat number was E7, which was front middle. I go to check. I'm like, well, let's see what Auditorium 12 looks like. Because on the Fandango app, you can just look. Like, you act like you're buying a ticket just so you can look at the map and then don't buy the ticket. I say, let me look at what the Auditorium 5 layout's looking like. And when I open it up, every seat is chosen except for seat E7 and E6, which is my seat. Just the two front middle seats. Every seat around it was X'd out. I was like, oh, God. Went to go do an exchange. I was like, well, let me do an exchange and just pick that seat. Fandango wouldn't let me do an exchange. It said I used a promo code on my ticket, which I might have. I get $5 off, like, since I use it so much, and so I usually use it without thinking. But their customer service is non-existent. They're not like, well, let's help you out. Like, it's just like, sorry, no, and that's it. So I was like, shit. Well, whatever. I guess I'll just show up early, like a half hour early, and just sit in my seat and hope there's not, like, an incident.
Excuse me, sir. I'm E7.
Yeah. Well, so I looked again yesterday before I went, and all of the seats in the whole theater were chosen. I was like, oh, shit. I hope that's me. Whatever. I was like, the plan remains. It's worth noting that this was yesterday. This was Saturday. Friday, the showing was at 5 o'clock on Saturday. Friday night, I realized I don't usually work Saturdays, but since I was off Thanksgiving, I realized that I was supposed to go in Saturday until 5 o'clock. I realized I was like, shit. So I had to call and like rearrange my schedule so I could get off at 4, which is not something I normally would do for a movie. I normally would just say, whatever, it's not going to work out. But I already had I was already like, shit. So it was like the universe didn't want me to see this movie, but I went and saw it anyway. That all worked out. I got to the theater about 30 minutes ahead of time. Walked in, they scanned my ticket, says Auditorium 12. Dude scans it, he says, okay, Theater 5. And I was like, okay. Went there. There was like one person in there, maybe like two people. So I sat in my seat, E7, front middle. It's a perfect seat. People start coming in, and like immediately there was a family like to my left. There was like a mom, a dad, and a kid, and they sat with a buffer seat between us, like one seat. And I was like, what are the odds that like one other person is sitting? Like, that's kind of weird. So I was like, I already feel like people are screwing up their seats. Then another family came and sat beside me to the right, did the same thing. So I'm sitting there with two buffer seats. And for the first time ever, like people are pouring in, coming in. For the first time ever, I hear other people saying, well, my ticket says Auditorium 12. What does yours say? And I hear other people, oh, well, I'm sure the layouts are the same, but it's just, they changed the theater. And I'm just looking back, I was like, oh, shit. But I'm thinking, like, okay, that's backup. If there's some kind of incident, like, everyone else is going to, like, be like, yeah, I'm supposed to be 12, but now I'm at 5. It's about 15 minutes before the movie comes on. It's customary. It's 4:45. Maria Menounos comes on and is like, hi, everyone, I missed all of you. And, the games are playing or whatever. And people are pouring in. It's like a sold-out show. So people are just coming in left and right, sitting in the front. Everybody's looking for their seats. Everybody, they just don't know how it works. Thing is playing up on the screen. It's playing like one of those like movie featurette things where they're talking to the cast, where they're talking about Encanto. Middle of the commercial, screen shuts off, lights go down, the movie starts. We're about 12 minutes early. It's like 4:48. Movie comes on. There's no trailers. There's no, hi, everyone. It's me, Matthew McConaughey. Thank you for coming. Like, nothing. Movie comes right on. People are still pouring in. It's not like one or two people trickling in. Like, whole families are coming in. Pitch black. Everybody's looking for their seats, like trying to figure. I hear other people at the top, like, oh, well, I think we're up here, but everybody's up there already. Well, it'd be nice if I could see, and like all this, like all the shit. It's mayhem. Dude comes in, holding like popcorn and shit, comes down my aisle, and he talks to the guy to my right. And he comes up to me and he's like, hey, I think that's me and my wife's seat. We're in E6 and E7. I prepared for this, sort of. So I like showed him my ticket. I was like, I'm in E7. And he goes, no, you're supposed to be in auditorium 12. I was like, there is no auditorium. Like, it's only here. They changed the auditorium. And he was like, you're in the wrong seat, dude. And I forget what I said. It was kind of like one of those, like, that I was just like, I'm in the right seat or something like that. Like, I don't remember what I said. He was like, okay, I'll be back.
Fuck
He
you,
left,
bud.
and I never saw him again.
Wow.
I think he went and got the manager, because the same manager who's been there for like years. He came in, and bear in mind, the whole time, lights are out. The movie is just on. Like, nobody is paying attention to the movie. Everybody is still standing around. There's people, like a whole crowd of people standing like at the door, like trying to figure out what's going on. Manager comes in, he looks at our tickets, and I was like, hey, I bought it weeks ago. It says auditorium 12, and he's like, I know. Like, it was like the most defeated, like, Eeyore shit. He was, I know. And then he left, and everybody's freaking out. Like, the kids are like, what's going on? And then the movie stops. And we're about 15 minutes into it, and the movie just shuts off. And everybody is like, oh. Like, the guy beside me goes, good Lord. Like he just said it like, good Lord. Woman behind me was like, it's just a movie. Remember, it's not the end of the world. And then they just restarted the movie. Like 15 minutes in. So now it's like 10 minutes after 5. People are still kind of trickling in and like finding their seats. But I think people thought they were going to be trailers. The movie just restarts. Again, there was no announcement. Like, he didn't come out and say, hey guys, I'm sorry, we started it too early. Sorry, we fucked up the seats. Like, there was nothing. Like, I don't know. But I never saw that guy or his wife again. Like, I don't know if they got, like, a refund. I have no idea what happened. Like, they did not get to watch.
This is an AMC theater?
It's a Regal theater.
It's a Regal theater.
Yeah, that's all I have around.
Wow.
Get it together, short
I
pump.
had 2 buffer seats. I had 2 buffer seats the whole time. Had I known, like, see, at that point, I didn't know who was coming in to sit where. Had I known that no one was going to sit there, I would have moved to the one to my right and been like, you and your dumbass wife, y'all can sit here. So I, like, ruined their date night. But, like, why should I have to move? I bought my ticket, like, way early.
Nah, that's...
But
way early.
it was nuts. But at the same time, it was like, wow, I'm finally validated. Like, my insanity is, like, validated now. Like, everybody was like, what the hell? I think, because I had to get the manager to fix it for me once. I was like, dude, I don't want to sit in my seat and then have someone else. And he just, like, kind of acted like, he was like, no, I'll fix it. But he kind of, the vibe was like, you fucked up. You picked the wrong seat. But it's like, no, I didn't. It's not my first word day. I know how to do it.
No,
So I
he's
don't know.
probably upset at Fandango. Is there a way to just buy Regal, like from Regal?
Well, okay, and this is the thing. So a couple weeks ago, I have the Regal app on my phone.
Yeah.
A couple weeks ago, I got an ad, like, as soon as Ghostbusters tickets went on sale, I got a pop-up, like a message from the Regal app. So buy your Ghostbusters tickets now.
Does that work?
Well, it was like, buy a Ghostbusters ticket, and you'll get a free popcorn. I was like, bet. So I went in. I was like, I've bought from the Regal app before.
Yeah.
I've bought from the Regal app before, so I was like, this should work. I'll see if they screw it up. I went in, bought my Ghostbusters ticket, and at no point did it say, like, and here's your free popcorn. Like, nowhere. It was just like, congratulations, you got a ticket. And, you know, I don't if you have iPhones, you know how they have the wallet app?
Yeah.
So it's like you buy a ticket
Eric,
to
don't
something,
shake your head.
and it's like it's like add the ticket to wallet.
Don't
And it's
shake
like,
your
yeah,
head,
because you add
Android.
the wallet, it just pops right up. You don't have to search through your email or anything. Like 2 hours before your showtime, it comes up on your lock screen, and it's like, oh, there it is. Boop. So I go to add my Ghostbusters ticket to wallet, and the ticket stub that saves to wallet said it was for Minions
Oh my god.
in September at
It was
some
just so-
random theater, and like the barcode was not scannable. I tried it like 5 times. I was like, all right, let me close the app and then save it to wallet.
Yeah.
And it wouldn't work.
So what seems to be the problem is
that was the Regal Labs problem.
yeah.
But
So it's probably, I actually don't think it's the Regal apps problem. I think the common denominator is the movie theater and their
Yeah.
system. I think it
It's
sounds like
all
an
screwed
IT
up.
problem. It's a communication.
that was like confirmation yesterday that so many other people had the same issue. I was like, this
Right.
is the
They're
theater.
not, I don't think the guy was mad at you. I mean, I used to have that job, so I feel bad for him. I
Right.
hope he
No.
wasn't
He
mad.
was just like, I know.
Yeah.
Like, he didn't like take it out of him. He was like, I
definitely just defeated.
But it was just like
We had so many issues like that, and the
Yeah.
only thing we could control was our own website. And then obviously every newspaper in the city, back when newspapers were still around, I don't know if they even are any, they would just list every time in a
Yeah.
row. So it would be like 6, 6:15, 6:20, 6:30. But then when people would show up, they'd be like, oh my God, there's a huge difference between VIP versus IMAX versus, and we
Right.
would say, I'm sorry, but we don't control these newspapers. Please only use our website. But then you're saying the website screws up anyway, so.
Yeah,
Mhm.
Fandango app is the easiest thing to use if you're
Right.
buying your tickets, especially now. Like you're choosing your seats.
Oh, so
And
maybe
you're-
Eric's right, and it's the theater. It's not even
Yeah.
Fandango.
No, it's
Yeah, like-
got to be, because
It doesn't do it for anything else. Like,
Oh, good.
not that I've noticed. Like the
It's just a theater you go to.
right. Yeah, that's what I mean.
It's like pretty much from like September or whatever all the way to like May. I was going to the AMC downtown about 2020,
Oh, okay.
and I had no issues the
Yeah,
entire
okay.
time. You had to choose your seats there too, and I had 0 issues. And I never had an issue with this until it was July. I went and saw The Green Knight, and it said I was in seat G whatever, but seat G whatever in the new theater was like in the back
Right.
left corner. And I was sitting there and I was like, I would never choose this seat in a million years. I would rather not see the movie than watch it from this angle.
That theater is not properly updated on Fandango, then.
Right.
Like I don't
That's
know.
it's a definite IT problem. They need to talk to somebody because it seemed like the theater isn't communicating well with everything else.
I think the
They
common
never-
denominator is Nick.
There's only one IMAX theater.
Oh yeah,
There's
that's
only the
horrible.
one IMAX
That's
theater. So
that sounds like an easy fix, but they just don't care.
it's gotta be easier
That
to
gives
fix
me
it.
major flashbacks to having that job. Oh my God.
Mhm.
It's got to be easier to fix than what was going on yesterday, like dealing
Right.
with that. But I'm like shocked because every time I've done it, no one else seems to have any issue. Nobody else ever comes in like,
You were gaslit.
Whereas yesterday it was completely full, and so I was like, well, something's gonna happen here, and it really did. Like shit hit the fan like immediately.
Oh, yeah.
They played the movie 12 minutes early. Was like the icing on the cake. I was like, y'all really fucked with that.
Yeah.
Get
A
it?
little funny story, I'll tell you, it was totally the person's fault. They came in with the digital ticket on their phone. It was Infinity War. And they came to the person, they're like, I think you're in my seat. And sure enough, it was they had the same seat, but the person that came in late, and I love this, the person sitting down, he's like, look at the date, buddy. See you tomorrow. He came in on the wrong day.
Thanos, Thanos snapped his ass right out the theater.
He went to see tomorrow.
That
He
was
went,
like, I don't know if you guys know the episode of Friends when Joey bought hockey tickets and then made Chandler
for sure.
cancel his plans and everything. And Chandler's like, this is for like next week or something.
Ross tore up the tickets. The game's tomorrow. Oh no, it was when he was coming back from Oklahoma, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
They've
And he
done.
made him cancel date night with his wife and
They've done multiple episodes with tickets. Yeah, it
The
threw me
game's
off.
next week, Joey.
Yeah.
That's so
the thing,
funny.
like, it comes down to like choosing your seats. Like if you didn't have to choose your seats, it would have been a non-issue. Like they could have changed up the auditorium like 85 times. Like it wouldn't have made a difference.
Yeah.
Your seat.
The one,
Yeah, but do you have to
It's
choose
always
your
the thing.
seat now with COVID and everything? That's what it's like here.
the
We've
one,
been
the,
doing it for about 2 years.
Oh, okay. So it doesn't really.
the one
Yeah,
rarity where I buy my tickets old school, but I still choose my seats when I buy the tickets.
Yeah.
No
Like,
confusion.
We used to have free for all auditoriums before COVID. The only ones we choose our seats for are the expensive premium ones like VIP.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Now
the
it's like you
IMAX
have to choose for sure because I think because of COVID they need to know where everyone sits and all that.
Yeah, it was like my IMAX theater didn't used to enforce it like 5 years ago. And then I think it was like
okay.
we saw Suicide Squad. My dad was like, it was like a little family thing. So my dad was like, yeah, I'll go get the tickets. He went to the box office, bought the tickets. And he came back and he was like, they made me choose the seats. And I was like, all right, well, what did you choose? And he was like, I don't even know. We were like,
We're not even together.
Like, on my floor. Like, I was like, dude,
I don't
why
trust
did you
people
look at
either.
that?
I like to have control over it too, just because I used to work there. I know all of the ins and
I should
outs.
have gone, but I didn't figure that was like the first time they ever enforced it. So for a while it was just IMAX, and then I think it was when I saw Shazam like a week early or something like that. It was like a special screening, and they made you choose your seat for it. And I was like, well, this is new, and just ever since then. But it's not hard. They
Yeah.
make it hard. Like as I said, I was like, it's the easiest thing in the world to do. Look at a map,
Yeah.
and then just like do it.
I love the chosen seats thing. I love it.
I like the idea of it, but
Yeah.
in execution, it is just.
In
It's
theory,
like
yeah, it's
Men in
good.
Black. It's like you get people together and they're always stupid. Like everybody comes like,
Right.
well, and it's like, oh,
Yeah.
just sit. Like find your seat. You chose it on the map.
Yeah, I'll be sitting there in the theater and I'll be wanting to tell them, you fucking idiot. The letters on the floor, the numbers on the seat. Figure it out.
Any concert, any entertainment thing that you've ever been to, like anything. Like my school auditorium had letters on the seats. Like it was like just look on the floor. But
Mm.
Yep.
If
but, I mean,
this
it's-
podcast ever spreads throughout this town's going to hate me.
fuck you talk about it that way.
Facts are facts, though. Y'all ready to talk some Ridley?
Yeah, do it up.
No.
Okay, Who wants to go first? I'm not going to front. Like, half of his filmography is not fresh in my head.
What?
So, like, my top 3 on Letterboxd right now is Alien, The Martian, and American Gangster.
It's not bad.
It's my
Too
list.
bad
Of
at
course,
all.
it's not bad.
Oh man.
Martian.
Yes, The Martian. I love The
I
Martian.
actually like The Martian too. I gave it a high
I like
rating,
it.
and I didn't even want to like it. So it.
You
obviously-
didn't want to like. Why did you
No,
want
like
to like
Matt
it?
Damon was being such an ass through the whole promo of that movie,
Yeah.
but it ended up being good against my will. Also, my brother read the book, and he had all these expectations. He said the book was actually extremely funny, and we love comedy, so he was expecting like a Ryan Reynolds, like that type of guy. He was like, the movie was so different in tone, and Matt Damon is not funny. But I ended up liking the movie, but it's just interesting that it was so not what he expected.
It was nominated for Best Picture Comedy at the Globes.
Yeah.
and
Right.
Oh, yes!
Yeah,
Thank
it was
you
on
for
the whole
reminding me. And we were like pissed off at that,
thing.
because
like
it
he's
actually was
eating-
not funny.
Like he's eating his own shit. Like this isn't funny. Like this is sad. I'm
Yeah,
sad.
it was like Castaway kind
You
of.
gotta do what you gotta do, baby.
Yeah.
It's
It's
Castaway on
Castaway's
Mars.
the comedy, like Jesus.
Oh yeah. When he knocks his own tooth out, I laugh my ass off.
Yes. Kristen Wiig isn't even funny in The Martian.
You're making me remember all this.
Yeah.
It's
Like
still,
Kristen Wiig, Donald Glover, Michael Pena. This is gonna be hilarious. And
it's still phenomenal.
It's just
Very good point. Oh my god, the Globes make me so mad every
Yeah,
year.
they did it with that and Get Out. It was like, why?
Did they call that a comedy?
They did. They said it was
Okay,
to like make room for it, but I was like, okay.
So funny. Has anybody seen The Duelists?
No, not his first movie.
Yeah.
It's been on my list for like years, just because I was like, yeah, it's Ridley Scott's first movie, but it's one that I haven't seen.
Does
So
it,
I watched Alien for the first time. You guys are gonna hate me. I didn't love it. I feel bad, but I
You
wasn't a
should.
fan. I'll definitely try the sequels, but the whole time, like, I heard so much hype for this movie, and like, oh, Ripley, her name's Ripley, right?
Yes.
Ripley's such a badass, blah blah blah. I'm watching this with my friend. He's at his house, I'm at my house, and we're like, she's such a bitch. Like, she just lets all these people die, and she only cared about her cat, and like, people just kept dying, and she just kept watching it happen and like not helping anyone. She was ruthless. So the whole time I was like, I don't love this, to be honest, and I didn't like her at all.
Okay, that steps on the toes of my question. Does any other director have a better second movie?
Is that Alien?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alien is his best movie.
Oh wow, everyone likes it.
I don't know about that, but like also maybe. Maybe. Actually, I'm looking at it and I'm like, it might be number one.
Yeah, I love Alien. Like, I know Eric's on a clock, but we could really do a 4-hour
No,
podcast
no.
on that
Yeah, we can talk
on
about
that
Alien.
on that whole Twitter fiasco last year. Is Alien a horror movie?
Something about Alien, though, I think you said you haven't seen the sequels. I think Alien has gotten better over time, like in hindsight of the sequels. The sequels are more like action sci-fi, like boom, boom, boom.
Yeah.
Where Alien, it's like you go back and I don't know, like maybe not, but I feel like it's like I appreciate Alien more now than I did like when I watched it. When I was like,
I love the slow burn and not seeing the alien and all, like, everything that makes it a classic.
Alien's clearly just like a guy in a suit, but it's like better. It's like Jaws.
No,
like,
it's
you don't, like,
it's
see
a
him
real
out there
it's the
jumping around.
xenomorph is a real being.
Yeah, like it's just like a guy like wearing a suit. That's why they show like the scene where he's in the like air shaft or whatever, and he's like going up and down, and the alien's just like that's scarier than if he was just out here with a bunch of tentacles, like in the new ones.
Yeah,
Like, why do people say she's such a badass?
It's Jaws in
Because she
space.
survives? It's like the only
No, the
reason
thing is about that, they're probably speaking about her over all of the movies.
Yeah.
Because that's the thing about watching the movie as
Aliens.
old as Alien is the lens that people remember the characters from. Because she technically wasn't the star of Alien.
Yeah.
She was just a survivor of the first one.
Oh.
Yeah.
Who's
She was the
star?
final girl.
That would be Tom Skerritt.
Yeah, Tom
He was.
Skerritt.
You gotta think of what it was at the time it came out. He
Ian Holm.
was a name back in 1979, and Yaphet Kotto was just coming off of James Bond, movie,
Yeah.
the main villain. Sigourney Weaver was an unknown,
Pretty much, yeah.
and so
Yeah, like-
Alien, she was the star in the sequel.
Okay. That
So,
makes more sense. Because
She's not really the badass. She's the survivor, yeah.
Yeah, she only
So-
survived because she didn't take any chances. She just like sat the whole time.
But yeah, it's the interesting when you like how old is the movie? 1979. It's the lens that you view it from. That's
Yeah.
understandable. You think what you think about it, but you
Yeah.
know,
People do
us.
the same thing.
I'm watching it a little late. That's all.
yeah,
People do the same thing, like with Back to the Future. So many things that people reference with Back to the Future are from Back to the Future too.
from the sequel.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah, the hoverboard and the shoes. And I'm like, that's part of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, the 3D, like the Jaws, like the 3D theater. I'm
Yeah.
like, yeah, that was from.
and
two.
of course, and
This-
another thing is,
This is heavy.
even John Hurt, even back in the day, was a name, and what happened to
Yeah.
him was totally
He was
unexpected.
Yeah.
And so, from watching it from, if you're not familiar with who's who, so yeah, it's
No, I know them, but Sigourney's such a big star now.
yeah,
Like,
that's the thing. That's what I mean from
Yeah.
the lens.
Hindsight.
I was like, oh shit, you could like I couldn't believe all of the actors that were in it. It's a
Yeah,
crazy cast.
Very
It's
Dean
absolutely
Stanton.
crazy.
Right, and watching it, even it's Veronica Cartwright. Sigourney Weaver was the rookie.
Yeah,
actor
he was like the Jamie Lee Curtis in Halloween. thing.
Yeah.
And now it's her.
Yeah.
So
Very
yeah,
Dean
and it's So like, if you're like 20 years old now, you're watching it, people might be, oh yeah, she is the badass with the flamethrower and the rifle and aliens. That's what people attribute that character to when you talk about Ripley.
Yeah, totally.
And,
that's why I want to see them, because I want to see why everyone, likes her so much.
Right, because the first movie was not an action movie. The second one's an action sci-fi movie. The first one, like you said, a slow burn. It's a space thriller. And it's very, and think about going into it, yeah, she's going to be badass, kicking ass. And then you got this slow build-up movie.
Ooh, yeah.
People are going to be disappointed.
You say that about anything. Like,
she sacrificed her coworkers for that cat, like, oh my God.
You say the same thing. Like, you talk to someone, it's like, what do you think of when you think of Sarah Connor?
Terminator 2.
Comes out the big
for sure.
And like she's ripped, and I was like, Terminator 1, she's just like the final girl. She's just the girl he's chasing the whole movie.
Right.
Yeah, but I really liked Terminator 1 when I watched it.
Terminator Dark Fate.
I was like, that's a good movie.
That's a good movie.
The Terminator is another sci-fi horror movie that doesn't get credit for being horror.
Right, man, yeah.
That's interesting. I never thought of it like that.
Think about it. He's Michael Myers, and she's...
Yeah. It's just that, and then part 2, just like Aliens. It's just like part 2 is like the best thing of all time, and it's this big action spectacle.
James
Cameron.
Cameron.
First one is real funny.
Yeah, so James Cameron, he knows he has mastered the sequel formula.
Yeah.
Hopefully, Avatar, he would still know that.
Oh,
Bruh.
yeah.
Bruh.
We're
I'm
not.
not one of those people that's shitting on Avatar 2. I'm excited for it.
And I mean, he came out like he did Alien, Blade Runner, and Legend back to back to back.
I love Blade Runner. I love Blade Runner. Yeah.
See,
One of those movies.
That's my number 1.
It's not like the other two.
Yeah.
One of those movies is really weird,
So,
but I also kind of love it.
see, and then
But
here's
and
confession
also
time.
depending now which version of Legend you watch.
I'm gonna confess
it
to
does
both of
make
y'all
a
right
difference.
quick.
What's that?
I've never seen Legend,
Me neither.
and I think Blade Runner is just okay.
Oh.
I love 2049, but I think Blade
Yeah.
Runner is just okay.
No, man. We're not going to even touch.
And I bet you,
tell you what, I'm not gonna do.
I bet you that's for the same reason. When did you see it, Randy?
I saw the original. I saw the Blade Runner that I had, which I think is like the definitive director's whatever
Yeah, the
Third-
final cut.
37th version of it that got released before 2049.
Yeah, so you saw it recently, fairly recently.
Yeah.
And you probably have heard so many things about it over the 30 years it's been out, maybe, and it's probably been built subconsciously in your
Yeah,
head
but
that it's
Maybe.
this masterpiece.
I'm kind of like Randy. I didn't see it 100 years ago. I saw it in modern day, and I actually loved it. It's just
Eric's
a
the only
matter
one
of
of us that was
But then-
around 100 years
Okay.
ago.
Oh, thanks. But yeah, like I bet
Old
you
joke.
that depends on the information you had about it. Because
Yeah,
I saw
maybe.
it.
I don't know if I heard a lot about Blade Runner.
Yeah.
Because
Same.
what do you? Because Blade Runner is just like funny, Ridley-Scott with the slow burn thing. A lot of people
Yeah.
like God,
It
they
is,
think
yeah.
it's some bombastic action movie. No, it's a old school throwback to the film noir about the
Yeah.
detectives investigating and
True.
just in the sci-fi
like,
arena or whatever.
That's true.
I saw it in middle school for the first time. Like I was probably like 7th grade, 8th grade, something like that. I was like all about the Matrix. I wasn't like one of those guys who like wore a trench coat, but like I thought like the Matrix Reloaded was coming out, and I was like, this is life. Like this is the best. Like this is my shit.
Mr.
So I was like,
Anderson.
Seeing like I'd look up like what are the best sci-fi movies? Like what are the movies that influenced the Matrix and all that stuff. And like Blade Runner and like Ghost in the Shell was one of them. So I was like watching all that stuff. I remember watching Blade Runner, kind of thinking like, oh, this is gonna be like a cop like chase movie. Like it's gonna be crazy. And it's more like Humphrey Bogart. It's more like the Maltese. Like that. Like, standing in the corner. Because when I compare it, like I tell so like it's not like the Matrix. It's more like Sin City. Like more like a subtle like something like that.
Okay.
Like a subtler version of like Sin City. It's raining and everybody's smoking. There's
That's funny. You said when the Matrix Reloaded came out, you saw it in middle school?
I was like in 8th grade. It was like 2003, so I think I was in 8th grade.
2003, yeah. I was in college. But anyway,
I was coming off 8th grade. Like I was like it was like the final year. Maybe not. Maybe it was.
Yeah. And I don't know what it is. Really, Scott, there's multiple versions of movies, so the final cut is his definitive version. He and even Harrison Ford hated the narration.
At this point, I forget what is in what. Like with Blade Runner, I've seen it, a handful of times in my life. It's not one that I've watched over and over and over. I've probably seen it 5, 6 times.
And what's interesting about Blade Runner, it's the first movie to officially have a director's cut. Ever.
Really?
I think I knew that, but I wouldn't have.
And it was by accident, which is funny. Somebody took the wrong reel and they played it for like a special screen, and it was the different version.
That's why Ridley Scott is all about director's cuts for movies. He's already talking about doing a Gucci.
I was about to say he's already talking about extended cuts for The Last Duel in House of Gucci.
Give me a break.
It's in theaters now. You gave it a 2.5 runtime. Like, just
this
put
guy
out.
loves working.
So for Blade Runner,
hey, but he's old. When they stop working, they die.
Yeah, he's a shark.
He's 83.
You know what I'm
But
saying?
no, Blade Runner has no less than 5 different versions. I think I own all of them. It's the work print, theatrical version, international, director's cut, final cut.
Yeah, I've got that fat DVD set that I think had all of them
I got
in
the
it.
Blu-ray,
And I think the Blu-ray that I got also had them all in it. I couldn't tell you which ones I've seen. I'm not a real cinephile, but it's like I couldn't have told I've seen the work print cut and the director's cut, but not. I have no idea.
That voice, man.
Yeah. I like it mostly because of the visuals. I think it is really one of the most beautiful movies I've ever seen. And when you look at like when it was made, it's 82, right? It's like holy shit.
Yeah.
Like sometimes we watch movies from the 90s. We're like, this looks terrible. Like
it don't age well.
even like
man.
Speaking
some
of
the space movies, I'm not going to name names, but you're like, what? Like even the 2000s aesthetic is so ugly sometimes. But this movie being 40 years old and it's so beautiful. Like that's exactly my type of thing. And I usually don't like slow burn, but because it's just so gorgeous, I'm just like hooked. I don't think I even really understand it yet. Like I've only seen it the one time and I was like, I love this, but it's mostly because it just looks so good. And I kind of think I have to try it again to really get it all. Because it's not an easy movie. It's not simple. And I like that about it.
Yeah, I hope somehow, some way, you all will be able to see it on the big screen, which I was lucky enough to do.
Oh wow!
And they re-released it.
What is the version you recommend?
The final cut. The final cut. It's the definitive version of it, approved by Ridley Scott.
All right.
It's the one that he's worked on from beginning to end because he technically was fired from the movie.
So does Final Cut not have narration?
No.
Okay.
Nobody wanted the narration. That was forced by the studio because the studios think we're stupid. So.
Well, yeah. I mean, I probably needed it, but I don't like narration either. So I like that. I like that he stuck to his guns on that.
Especially not the half-ass narration by Harrison Ford because he didn't want to do it.
Makes perfect sense.
I might be a robot.
Harrison Ford.
I might not be a robot.
We don't have to imagine. I mean, isn't he always kind of like?
That's my point. Imagine him just even more.
Even more than normal.
Let me see. Yeah. What is Someone to Watch Over Me?
I actually tried this movie because I like those like 80s, 90s erotic thrillers or like neo-noir.
I'm sorry, Melissa. Randy's just not gonna skip over Legend.
I said Alien, Blade Runner, Legend. Y'all didn't talk about Legend.
You didn't.
Fuck it.
Not take it. Y'all didn't see Legend.
I think it's better to talk about Legend than Someone to Watch Over Me because, like, I couldn't even finish Someone to Watch Over. I was like, this. I'm sorry, not my thing.
I'm interested to hear why, but no, did y'all even see?
Yeah,
Legend?
no, like I like that genre, so I tried it, but I was like, this is so boring. I'm just waiting and waiting. It's not my thing.
Oh.
I said, who else did a 3-movie run like that? That was my acknowledgement of Legend.
Talk about Legend because me and Randy haven't seen it, so.
Nick, you seen Legend?
Oh yeah. I've seen Legend.
Come on, it's Nick.
Legend is like one of those. I sit firmly on the fence with Legend. Like I kind of love it. It's like, what do you think about Legend? I'm like, dude, classic.
You mean Tom Hardy playing twins?
The Legend is a
That
dog
was funny.
shit.
Didn't
Legend sucks.
Oh.
Like,
I thought Tom
Oh,
Hardy
it's
like
like-
played
it's like
like
one of
gangster
those-
twins in Legend?
Okay.
no,
No, it's Will Smith, and it's like the end of the world or something.
No.
It's one thing people remember from Legend.
Will
Nick, what
Will
is it?
Smith was like Matt Damon's like ghost caddy.
Tom Cruise.
Mhm.
I think it's like Tom Cruise. That's
No.
it. Like he's the guy
It's
that
Tim
like
Curry as
Tim
the
Curry is
as
like-
darkness.
darkness. He's like Satan.
Yeah.
That was
And-
the thing. Like I saw Legend as a kid, and like that was one of those things that was like kind of like spooky. It was like just on the cusp of like being too scary. But it was
Right.
like, this is cool.
And the
Kinda
same
like
here, I
the
saw it
early
as a child. It seemed like a fever dream, like it
Yeah,
didn't
it's tra-
exist.
like,
I'm like, oh,
yeah.
this movie was real.
Yeah. But it's like you
But,
ask like, who loves Legend? Like who's the kind of person that like thinks this is great? And it's always like, you know,
Yeah.
which
So
girl?
it was essentially a flop, right?
Yeah.
It
That was
made
believable.
like, yeah, that's technically true. It they're both of them, but Legend. So there's two different versions of the movie.
Go figure.
And, and it's the theatrical cut with is very short, and it has a score by Tangerine Dream.
They were
And
so
the-
big in the 80s.
Yeah, they were everywhere. And so the international cut, which had a score by Jerry Goldsmith and kind of different ending and more scenes to it, is the better version of it, in my opinion.
Yeah, I watched
So-
that like 3-4 years ago with some girl. I was like, oh yeah, this is the different version. It's got different music.
Yeah.
It's stupid.
and then
Like, it
she
was
broke
the
up
only
with you.
thing,
I've ever seen.
yeah, it's bizarre
was
and
like-
weird.
It's kind of great. Like it's like one of those things. It's like, you know, this is cool. Everything
But-
about it is great, but it's also like the worst.
Yeah. But the best thing about it,
Like,
not even being, is Tim Curry. His performance
Yeah,
is
like Tom Cruise, Mia Sarah, probably like the two hottest people to ever live.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah, Tom Cruise is horrible in that movie. Like he's like, oh, like that's all I think of is him. Like, oh,
Yeah, just so,
the guy from
like-
Top Gun?
like wide-eyed, like,
Did Top Gun the same year? Like, get the fuck.
yeah, that's
What?
And the
Yeah,
color
it's
of
weird,
money.
right? Because he was so good in Rain Man. It was just a few years later, I guess. No,
and,
wait.
and the
It's
color of money.
after.
yeah, and Mia Sarah is like 17 or 16 or something, but
Ugh.
She would have had to have been.
yeah, so
Yeah.
we just skip over that. I have to say, watch it.
No, that's one of those 80s movies I always wanted to see because that's what I thought. I thought it would be like the two cutest people at the time in a beautiful fantasy movie. And then it's like this horrible red dog thing. I was like, I think I turned it off.
It's a
I don't know.
whole.
Yeah,
it
that's
really
Tim
was
Curry.
Nick
It's
Studios.
darkness.
Red dog.
Yeah, I was like, this is scary. This is gross. But
The
maybe
darkness,
I'll still
everybody.
see it.
Nah, nah, nah.
I feel like in general, like studios were like doing weird shit with like fantasy movies and that like
Yeah.
Like
In
Dune.
the
Like
80s.
is it ugly and gross like the first Dune?
No, it's not. It's
Okay.
nice to look at visually.
It's
Yeah,
weird.
I want to
It's
see that.
weird. Like dude,
Yeah.
I would compare it to weirdness.
Yeah.
But no, it's not. Like
It's not ugly.
aesthetically-
Yeah.
Okay, good. Because that red dog, I was like, what the hell?
He said the red dog.
Like Clifford.
It's kind of like you ever see the Disney movie The Black Cauldron? Like it's kind of like that. Like
That's what I'm thinking
it's
of.
like, oh, this is cool, but it's also kind of bland, but also like weird. And it's like, who's the audience for this? Like kids?
Yes.
You know?
Yeah.
I don't know. The villain
Yeah,
is like
that's a
this
perfect-
terrifying monster.
In the 80s, it's like they didn't even care about audience. They're
Yeah.
just like, we're gonna do
Well,
it.
what's this rated? It could be R. It could be G.
We're gonna do
Yeah.
these cocaine rails and just set it out.
It's like who's the bad
But
guy?
no, that's the thing though. Is
Let me see.
Satan is the bad guy. It's like, of course he
but that's
is.
kind of why the '80s were one of the greats. Is because they took chances
Yes.
and they let filmmakers be filmmakers.
You're right.
I guess.
But
I guess. Did they?
But
I
unfortunately-
mean, Ridley Scott had to make 18 different versions of his movies.
but
like they
unfortunately,
To
yeah,
a
that was,
point, Nick. To a point.
yeah. But that
There's,
was probably the cocaine with the 80,000 versions of movies.
There's-
Like,
I was
everything.
it's weird. Like they watched
It's like
Legend, as weird as it
Cocaine,
is.
synth music. You're
Yeah,
done.
like,
That's all you
As
need.
weird as Legend was, like they sat and watched it, and they were like, "Well, we've got to change the music."
Yeah.
It was like, I guess we're not going to change any of the bullshit. And they're like, no.
So
Great as
someone
the bullshit
to watch
stays.
over me. I'm curious because I didn't know that was a thing till like last week.
Yeah, I haven't
it's just
seen
like
this
one
either.
of those stalker movies, and it's just like I didn't even finish it. So.
Oh, so he toned it
Who's
down
in
to
it?
a cop
Tom
drama.
Berenger
Tom
and Mimi Rogers.
He was they were in a lot of those type of movies in that day, and that's why I tried it. But
Yeah, I haven't seen that one. I've seen Black Rain once. It's a decent.
I saw Black Rain when I was like a kid because I remember like making fun of. My parents had it on VHS. I remember making fun of the VHS cover. It's like a Drew Struzan like style like painting of Michael Douglas, but he's got like a leather jacket, and, like glasses.
Yeah.
Super cool.
like,
I think it looks like the Purple Rain movie poster. To be honest, he's on a
Black
motorcycle.
Try Black Rain. I was like,
But
yes.
you know what? So none of y'all have watched that recently.
Nah.
It's been like 20 years.
So I remember that
thinking
recently.
Andy Garcia.
Yeah,
I remember
but more
thinking-
recently than y'all.
Aren't they in like Tokyo or some shit?
Yeah, they go. It's unfortunately, one of his more, in my opinion, underrated movies. Because I watched it. I did a binge when Prometheus came out. No, Alien Covenant. I did a binge, and it's the movie. Unfortunately, nobody talks about. I think it's one of his best movies.
I binged the Alien
I
movies.
remember
You binged
Aliens,
Ridley
yeah.
Scott movies.
I didn't have time to do it this year. Like, these two movies came out in such close succession to each other.
Yeah.
I was like, dude, I don't have time to, like... Otherwise, I would have tried to see everything I hadn't seen and, like, made a ranking list and done the whole thing. I was like, I do not have time to do it. This year would have been the best year.
Besides Scream, and I want to watch the Daniel Espinosa movies when Morbius comes out. Other than that, I'm filling January up with all the Ridley shit I want to watch.
Mhm.
Legend.
Yeah.
No,
Legend.
no.
Jason Morales.
But yeah, it's Black Rain.
Legend.
Is it even on Blu-ray?
I have it.
Yeah.
Oh, you do?
Wow.
Come on, bro.
It doesn't have the cool cover.
No, it's like it's
Yeah,
like
what cover do they have? That's awesome.
Michael Douglas is like looking like off. Andy Garcia's looking the
God.
other direction. It's super generic.
Yeah.
Bad.
Let's just bunch the 90s into like one discussion because I haven't seen any of his 90s movies.
He didn't have it.
Thelma and Louise?
I haven't seen Thelma and Louise. I haven't seen G.I. Jane. I feel
You
like
haven't seen it at all.
I've
No.
no.
I still want to see G.I. Jane.
That's
I
why
tried-
that's why I'm
I
doing
tried
January.
So hard. 1492. I still want to
For,
see
like,
1492.
years.
Yeah, I feel like nobody talks about 1492 or White Squall.
Nobody's seen it.
Yeah, these are the movies. That big tweet that went viral. No, it's not millennials. Blah blah blah. It's because nobody's heard of them. These are the movies nobody's heard of.
I think
Well, not Thelma and Louise, but
a lot of girls my age probably.
No, I
saw
mean
White Squall.
1492 and White Squall.
White Squall.
I'm sure the girls my age saw that movie because I know the whole cast without even having seen it.
Yeah.
I feel like White Squall is genuinely like kind of known.
Yeah.
Nobody other than the Wayne's World commercial.
Exactly.
Nobody talks about 1492. Like nobody can tell you like what that is.
Yeah.
Except for even me. I've never seen it, but I've seen that trailer 1,000 times.
Yeah, of course. Thelma and Louise, though, people love that. I'm not even the biggest fan, but I've seen it several times.
Yeah, that's the movie that pretty much introduced the world to Brad Pitt
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
as his biggest role. His biggest role before that was in an episode of Freddy's Nightmare.
Yeah.
And then, they had a show.
And I think it was Gina Davis who insisted that he be the one. And it wasn't even the casting people who cared about him. So she deserves that credit, which is pretty damn cool.
Which is a lot of credit.
Oh yeah.
That was his biggest movie in the 90s, wasn't it? Like G.I. Jane was like I
Ridley.
remember that being popular.
Yeah,
No,
it was
not
popular because
Yeah, I thought you meant Brad Pitt.
When did
No.
Striptease come out? Because I conflate all of that happening at the same
95.
time. And
Oh,
G.I. Jane
96.
was what, 97?
Striptease was
It came out the year
96.
before, right?
Yeah, so that all. I feel like it got bad press because of that. Because that's what I
Yeah,
associated
That's
with.
what happened.
I was
And
thinking
you guys said it
Showgirls.
wasn't even a bad movie, and I was like, oh, I just assumed it was because of all that bad press.
It's Is it Demi Moore's best performance in a movie? Maybe.
Yeah, Jane.
Well,
I don't know. I feel like she got awards buzz for it. I can't remember if she got anything from it. I remember it being like high profile. Like it was like, look at her doing the one-handed push-up and like she's bald. I just remember it like as a kid being like, wow, that's a big deal.
I know.
Looking
Like, back on it, the thing that gets overshadowed in the movie because of the press or whatever it was is Viggo Mortensen's performance. I don't know how well y'all remember that.
He was like,
because he was awesome.
Yeah, he was a hard ass.
Yeah, and he wasn't like.
I didn't even know he was in it until you guys told me. So yeah.
Oh, damn. And it wasn't like so he's just like the drill sergeant. It wasn't generic, and it was a genuine good performance.
It was probably his biggest pre-Lord of the Rings movie.
Yeah, definitely.
Wow. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was probably his biggest like showcase. It was like Carlito's Way. It wasn't that big for him.
Texas Chainsaw.
Yeah, Texas Chainsaw. That's what I was thinking of.
Yeah, it's Carlito's Way. It was a one-scene performance, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It'd be so good.
Yeah, that was an awesome scene.
Jared Leto overacting with the accent. He's like, no, Carlito. It's like, Mortensen? Why are you
Viggo Mortensen. That's Laline from Carlito's Way.
Why are you doing this?
Oh, man.
Follow.
I was like, man, stupid. It's like, I got diapers, man. I can't.
Carlito.
But listen, like, what the hell are y'all talking about?
So, Eric, do you like Thelma and Louise?
No, I love it. I think it's a great movie, performance-wise. Rightfully so. They're one of the rare. They both got nominated for Best Actress. Gina Davis and Susan Sarandon.
Is that a Duff beard on your sleeve?
It won Best Screenplay.
Yeah,
but
Callie Corey.
Yeah, But I like the movie. It was all right.
I don't know. I never loved it, so I like to hear why people like movies that I don't really get.
Mostly down for me, the performances. The movie.
Yeah.
It's what's a good way to describe it? It's probably a B movie story with an A-list script and actors.
Interesting.
And the actors and it elevates what the material is, and the dialogue is good, but the plot is simple, but
very
everything else raises
really just
it up.
like a spin on Bonnie and Clyde. Like it's really just like modern day, like just a jazzed up version. But, like it works.
Actually, what's funny is I'm sure I saw the Wayne's World parody before I saw Thelma and Louise.
Most people probably did of a certain age.
So maybe by the time I saw it, I was like, what?
Just like The Doors.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But at least I like it better than the damn Doors movie. At least I can get through it.
Oof.
But it was a super duper hit, and
people still talk about it regularly, like on Letterboxd. Like people just love it.
It's like iconic level. It's like an iconic status movie. That was like his biggest one in the 90s. Like none of those other ones were really like.
What?
He didn't have another like massive one till Gladiator.
1492 just didn't break down the box office.
Yeah, it's 1492.
Christopher
and
Columbus.
5, 4, 3, 2, and it's just like Dave Pardue jumping out of a little boat and like walking through the water. Like
I've seen that so many times.
I'm like 3, and I'm like,
Exactly. It was a good trailer. I will say that was a good trailer.
It's a great trailer. I've seen it.
So like,
times.
Not enough to make us see the movie, but
Not once. I've never seen that movie. Like I've never seen that DVD like in a store. I've never heard anybody talk about that movie.
Right.
Man,
it wasn't. And the thing is, nobody that's probably seen this that we know. So nobody on here has seen it.
That's a good question.
Like I said, like I've seen Gerard Depardieu and other things, and like he's never been like, yes, I played Christopher Columbus or whatever it's about. I think that's what it's about.
Yeah, so I think they made us watch this in school. I don't remember it at all, but you would think this movie was a flop, but it made this is in what 92.
That's shocking.
It made like 60 million. I'm like, man, who are the people that went to go see this movie?
I want to talk to them. Like you remember your theater trip?
Hey, this shit is on Kino Lobor Blu-ray though.
Sounds like Charlie Brown's teacher.
White Squall is too.
Is that what you say, Reggie?
I said White Squall and 1492 are on Blu-ray through Kino Lobor. Labor,
you just talked about them.
Lorber.
Yeah, it was probably easy for them to snatch up those rights because nobody gave a damn about the movies.
Boom, roasted.
White Squall.
The White Squall. But now I guess nobody. And Sigourney Weaver's in 1492 reunited them with.
Wow.
But now I guess the next movie, G.I. Jane is Gladiator, ain't it?
Yeah, I was gonna say, he could, aside from like G.I. Jane being like a mild hit between 91 and 2000, he kind of stayed low key.
Yeah.
You wanna take the break before we break into the 2000s? Maximus Decimus Meridius, husband to a dead wife, father to a dead son, and one of Ridley Scott's best characters in movies and all of that. What do we think about Gladiator?
Gladiator was my favorite movie when I was 10. It came out when I was 10. And
it's so violent.
Ever seen in my life.
Your parents really didn't care what you watched, did they?
They didn't give a shit. We rented Gladiator.
They didn't give a shit.
We rented The Patriot.
I love it.
And I was like, the best. These are the best two movies I've ever seen.
Sorry, what was the other one?
The Patriot with Mel Gibson and Gladiator. And I was like, this is as good as movie.
I remember your Patriot love now, actually.
I liked Braveheart a lot too, like around that time. Like I was just like, dude, these are greatest films. Gladiator just kicked so much ass to like a 10-year-old. I don't know about an adult.
No, man.
I loved everything about Gladiator when I was 10.
So Gladiator came out. Yep, so Gladiator came out when
May of 2000.
I was 10 years old.
Yep, Gladiator came out 2 days before my 19th birthday. No, so I was still 18 technically.
Joaquin Phoenix just oozing greatness and nobody realized it because he wasn't talking to Siri.
Siri? No, he got nominated for Gladiator.
Did he?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Best supporting actor, yeah.
Well,
deservingly said.
Damn millennials.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just watched Gladiator a couple months ago. Gladiator's fucking dope. We don't need a sequel though.
Nah, by now
he keeps teasing that he's gonna film. Gladiator 2 is supposed to be like his like next movie after his next movie, and we don't need it.
Jesus.
Now, like it's weird. It'll be weird now.
Like,
not to Russell Crowe, but Russell Crowe doesn't look like he could do that today.
No shit.
Like, no offense to Russell Crowe, but like he just doesn't look like he's in Gladiator like shape. Like he doesn't look like he's ready to go today.
So, one thing I want to talk about that upsets me about it's not the movie itself per se, it's more so the Academy. So another movie came out and it was nominated for Best Visual Effects. And Gladiator won over this movie, I think, which was horrible. So Gladiator beat Hollow Man for visual effects.
Oh no!
But Hollow Man sucks.
The movie sucks.
The effects were cool though.
The effects, though, is what we're talking about.
I want to watch this now.
Yeah, the effects were top notch and still kind of hold up.
Hey,
yes, the effects were very good.
I like Hollow Man. Fuck you guys.
So this one is.
That was good too.
So I think this was an apology for Russell Crowe for them not giving it to him for The Insider. I do not think Russell Crowe should have won Best Actor for this movie.
I remember that whole thing.
That was definitely Tom Hanks' award for the taking for Castaway.
Yeah. And
don't get me wrong, great performance by Russell Crowe. I'm not taking that away from him at all. He deserves his nomination tenfold. But it was because he would get like 3 like nominations in a row with The Insider, Gladiator, and
was it A Beautiful Mind?
Beautiful Mind, yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Took a shot in the dark.
Didn't he win A Beautiful Mind or no?
He did not. Denzel beat him for that.
Yeah.
Ooh, I see.
So he got one in the middle, but yeah, great movie, classic. I mean, people say, "Are you not entertained?" and haven't even seen this movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Jay-Z sampled that
There was
shit.
a level of iconicism.
Is this not
with
why
that.
you are here?
It's just not white. Yeah, come on.
I know
Spaniard,
people love Gladiator,
Spaniard.
and I haven't seen. I know that.
But
Yeah, the fan base.
and one more thing that's stupid, horrible. The movie wins Best Picture. Ridley Scott's not nominated for directing.
That's crazy. That's
they
so
love
crazy.
to pull that shit though.
How?
That's happened several times. It's
How,
so
Sway?
infuriating.
They pull it out. Like, who won Best Director that year?
Best, I had to look it up. Let's see.
2000?
Probably somebody.
That's infuriating.
If you tell me what else was
All
nominated,
right.
I'd probably
So Steven Soderbergh was a double nominee that year
yeah, for Traffic.
for Brockovich and
Soderbergh.
Traffic.
Yeah.
And so that is Soderbergh. It's Soderbergh.
Did he win for Traffic?
He won for Traffic.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Nominated twice.
God, he was really whoa.
Take away that Aaron Brockovich nomination.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, like it's a great movie.
I think it was well directed. I don't even like.
It says
fucking
right here
Traffic.
he's nominated. I'm looking at the nominations right here. It says Ridley Scott, Gladiator.
Oh, yeah. Oh, no, so he was. I'm thinking about something else. There we go.
It sound.
Oh,
Why you diluting my content, man?
whew, sorry. I'm thinking, you know what? I'm thinking of Argo for some reason.
Yeah,
Probably.
for Argo, I know that happened.
Yeah.
I
So there we go.
Used with Gladiator.
So it was something that wasn't, I think
Aaron
screenplay.
Brockovich is good.
I like Aaron Brockovich.
Why
as a
you
movie.
why you putting some sour in my flavor, man?
Still, I'm taking out Brockovich and putting something else in.
I don't care what.
Traffic.
Yeah.
I'm sure there was a
Alright,
female that year that got ignored.
I'm thinking about
Well, yeah,
these farver
Crouching
beans.
Tiger, Hidden Dragon that
These
year was big
farver beans and a
competition.
nice Chianti though.
Oh yeah.
Is Hannibal
Yeah.
just okay?
Yes.
Yeah. A lot of
Yeah.
people were disappointed that Jodie Foster didn't come back.
Yeah, for sure. I
I
can't lie. Like Gary Oldman's face, like always grossed me out when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Yeah, that whole character.
Still does.
It's a good movie. I feel like people say it's a shitty movie, like it's bad, it's bad. I think it's good. Like,
Yeah, it's not
fine.
bad. It's
Yeah,
one of his
it's
weaker
fine.
movies.
Yeah, like I think Red Dragon is a better movie. Like Red Dragon is just Manhunter, like a remake
Yeah.
of Manhunter.
Right.
But you know,
Red Dragon.
Brett Ratner
That's the name
made
of
a
Ricky
better
Tan's boat.
Ridley Scott. It's kind of weird.
Yeah. I still think it's honestly Brett Ratner's best movie.
Ooh.
Maybe other than like Rush Hour. or
Rush
something.
Hour, yeah. Obviously,
Yeah.
that's his field, but you know.
I like the Family Man, Nicolas Cage.
The Family Man is very entertaining.
Yeah, that's
Mhm.
just me.
I don't like Brett Ratner as a person, but I do like his movies. Gotta say.
I gotta try to squeeze the Family Man into my December watching.
I know. I love watching that.
I'm doing it this year. But anyway, yeah, Hannibal's fine. I think it gets a little too much hate, but it's also like not that great. It's like, would Jodie Foster have done it if like the script was better? Like I've always wondered, like she passed on it. Like,
Yeah, there was a reason, like a hard reason why she passed. I guess that was it.
Yeah,
right?
but does she ever do sequels? I can't think of her.
Her and Demi like also like they were just like no, and it was like well wait, did they like barter? Like were they like what can we do to make you do it? Like that would have been me. I'd be like we need Jodie Foster. Like what the hell?
He said we did. So yeah, two movies in 1 year for Scott in 01, right?
Yeah, y'all want to talk Black Hawk Down?
Great movie.
Yeah, no,
It's too
Have y'all
long.
seen it?
No.
Yeah,
no.
I know why Melissa doesn't want to see it, and
I
rightfully
was
so.
being
It's
really
a very,
stoked on Black Hawk Down.
yeah,
It's
it's a very
brutal.
violent movie.
It's good.
It's a war movie. I mean,
So
Yeah.
I was right.
yeah.
I was 11 at that point, and I was ready. I was like, I'm older.
He said I'm older, more mature.
Like, I'm older. Like I'm ready for his next one. And like my mom bought the DVD like through some thing, and like I remember like taking it out to my room and watching it, and I was just like,
It's called Columbia House.
Columbia.
That's the thing. Yeah.
Is that
You're
the
right.
thing? No, I don't think it's like it was some kind of subscription thing where she got like 3 movies because I think she bought that and like,
Columbia House.
It's probably early Netflix.
Yeah. My
Sounds
mom
like
got envelopes and like there were like stamps with like the movie covers on them.
Yeah.
I was like, this is so cool.
That's what the Disney Movie Club used to be, and now it is what it is.
All right.
Yeah, I think she did that because she got that. I want to say she got like Ocean's 11 and like maybe something else.
Classic.
I remember being so I was like, yes, Black Hawk.
All right, we'll be nice because I really want to talk about this next movie because I think it's one of Nicolas Cage's best performances.
It's
Absolutely.
Ridley's most underrated. Nobody's convincing me different. Matchstick Men is phenomenal.
Yes.
Maybe.
Have you
Maybe.
have you seen him a little?
Matchstick Men. I put it as my second favorite Ridley.
There we go. And people don't remember back when it came out because I saw this in theaters. People actually thought, what's her name, Alison Lohman?
Yeah.
Thought she was like a real child.
Yeah.
He looked like it. I mean, she was, as far as I'm concerned. I'm like, dude, she killed whatever it was.
Yeah,
he was like for like 5 years.
Right.
Like, where the hell? Like, what happened to her? She was like a ray of light. She was like good in everything for like 5-6 years.
Yeah, and then just
that's kind of like.
And of course,
poof.
Who's like awesome in everything he's in, Sam Rockwell.
Yeah.
And I always seem to bring up the Oscars or whatever. They totally missed the boat on like all these performances.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Look up, see who got those nods over them. But this movie's hilarious.
The cool thing is Matchstick Men has really passionate fans, I think, because I always heard about it.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's interesting that no nominations or anything. But I feel like it's like an one that audiences love, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I always heard about this movie, and I only just watched it last week or whatever. And I think the problem was that I heard so much about it, and I wish I hadn't. You know, there's such folklore about it, and I wish I saw it fresh. I wish I saw it in the theaters like you did. That's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I still really liked it.
He was like, it was almost like Nicolas Cage's, I don't want to say it was like his heyday, but he was really, he was like on one from like 2001 to like 2006 or 7. Like he was in every other movie, and he was really. And every movie was about a man. That was the Wicker Man, the Matchstick Men, the Weatherman.
The Family Man.
Family Man.
It's like, holy shit.
I never thought of that. Wow.
It sounds like Nicolas Cage was the man. But he wasn't in The Man. Samuel L. Jackson was the man.
Independence Man. But it was like every movie he was in, like he would do a couple like paycheck movies like Natural Treasure, but then it was like he would do like
Eric, you good?
Lord of War, like The Weatherman, like these movies where it was like, wow.
Yeah.
What a bizarre actor.
Yeah, that's true. He has a lot of range.
Eric Powers just cut out?
Eric went dark. His
this
voice
is like a horror movie.
I think he's really gone.
He thinks it's one of those true crime like things like I also like Matchstick Men.
There's no way he can sit that still.
He says to hide his identity for this interview. I'm one of the few people that likes Matchstick Men.
Matchstick Men is fire.
All in the theater.
I feel like everyone likes it, which is cool, you know?
I'm the host now. I'm taking over hosting.
Okay.
Like, he really cut off.
He might reconnect.
I was going to ask him. Nick, you've seen Kingdom of Heaven, right?
Yes.
Is it the same era as The Last Duel? Which one's better?
The Last Duel is better. The Last Duel is more simple than Kingdom of Heaven. Kingdom of Heaven is like kind of like a big convoluted like spectacle. I kind of liked Kingdom of Heaven as is, like in 2005.
Yeah.
Like I thought it was pretty good, but it just like was not one of his big hits, and it like didn't get critical love. But then the director's cut did. Like the director's cut came out and was like,
I think that's the Blu-ray I have.
And like, I was like, do I need to watch the director's cut? And like, I did a few years ago for the first time, and it's better. It's longer. It's like 4 hours long.
Oh, great.
And like, there's stuff they could have taken out. Like, there's like a movie is that long. I'm like, dude, there's stuff you could have taken out. whether we're talking like Justice League or Lord of the Rings, like anything. I'm like,
Yeah.
you could have cut a half hour out of it.
Isn't Edward Norton in Kingdom of Heaven?
I think, yeah, like, I think even as is, I think even without the director's cut, I think it's one of his more underrated movies.
That was an amazing 45 seconds of being the host.
Yeah.
A glitch in the Matrix.
Yeah, we was making fun of you. Nick said you wanted to keep your ID.
They left behind your shadow. It was really eerie.
Nick said you wanted to keep your identity a secret and your voice was muffled and shit.
With voice modification.
No, man.
This was like your outline, and you were just like...
It's like a current bear, right?
Yeah.
I'm not RidleyScott, but I think he's the best director.
Millennials suck.
Yeah, millennials suck. Am I right, guys?
They're too damn glued to their phones.
Man.
Randy, what are you talking about?
Yeah, that's hilarious.
You know what? It's not hilarious that you just missed the Kingdom of Heaven discussion because we're talking about a good year.
Dang, Kingdom of Heaven.
A good year. Come on.
I haven't seen a good year.
Well, we don't have to talk about it.
We don't have to talk about it.
All right, so American Gangster.
Wasn't that the rom-com with Russell Crowe?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, the real, it was like when Spielberg, I compared it to when Spielberg did like The Terminal. Like,
That makes sense.
it was like, it's not bad, like, but it was just kind of like, huh, okay. And then like his next movie was like War of the Worlds.
So that's a movie.
Like,
Oh, man. Well, so I guess...
It's not bad. A good year.
I don't know. I remember my mom liked it. I've not seen. I would say it's one of the handful that I haven't seen.
Shocking. That really speaks badly of that movie.
It's named after a blimp.
It came out when I was like in high school. Never got around.
So the next movie we know Melissa hasn't seen, but recently we rewatched it after our last podcast. It's not really that violent.
American Gangster?
American Gangster. It's one really violent scene that's in the trailer.
Yeah.
I'm suspicious.
American Gangster is amazing.
Is this one of those things where you're like trolling me?
No, seriously. I mean, think about it. It's okay. It's the one scene with Idris. What else is? It's the raid scene, which is not really that violent. I mean, not gory or bloody.
Yeah.
And what else is there that's really violent? It's mostly. Well, it's the scene at the party when
If the music kind of predicts something bad's gonna happen, that's good. Like, I need that so I can like cover my eyes.
Go,
If it's
what
like
you
that,
doing?
but if it's like a completely out of nowhere, someone's getting shot in the head, then like that's not cool for me.
Well, you.
So yeah, exactly. That's the problem.
What you gonna do, Frank? Oh,
I don't know if it's out of nowhere.
You
can see it coming.
Here's your 10%, Tango.
10%.
Yeah, so it's clearly happening.
Here's your 10%.
I know you guys like that movie, right?
I love American Gangster.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sort of like, I really like American Gangster, and like I feel like it should be more highly regarded than it is. Like I feel like it's like a classic, like on the same level. Like people should reference it like they do Scarface.
Scarface, right?
Like I feel like people should be like, oh yeah, I'm Frank Lucas, or something like that. Like they don't. But at the same time, I think it's good. Like I don't think it's like a masterpiece. Like I think it's like
it's really.
So I'm kind of like not really on the fence, but I'm kind of like I don't think it's like his top 5, but I think it's very good. Very good.
Going off, this is hilarious. The two people you wouldn't think would be like best friends met on this movie, like Russell Crowe and RZA.
Sure.
Man of the Iron Fist.
Yeah, I was about to say, how else would Russell Crowe be in the Man of the Iron Fist?
Right, he basically did that for free.
Jeez.
And they've been in what's the movie? The other movie. RZA had a cameo. The movie is it the 3 days after? What is it called?
Next 3 days.
Next 3 days, yeah.
Sure.
I've seen that, yeah.
It's fine.
I do
that's
not
awesome.
remember RZA, but okay.
Yeah, he had the cameo because he wanted to get like something illegal, and RZA like, yeah, meet me at the bar.
It's been a long time since I've seen that.
Yeah, but anyway, American Gangster. fantastic cast. It's like
Yeah.
Yeah.
everybody
Like,
did their thing.
so many people in that movie. Like, it's not even just like good ensemble cast. It's like every character is somebody. It's like Norman
Yeah.
Reedus, like a cop. Like, he's
Josh Brolin is a huge piece of shit.
whatever. I'm like,
Yeah.
like everybody is somebody in American Gangster. Like, that's why I feel like this should be more like like we should have reassessed it by now. Like, it's been almost 15 years. Like, talking about
That's a
it,
good
like,
damn point.
and they don't.
It's hilarious that Common is what's the name's father.
T.I.
Common is T.I.'s father.
What?
Yeah. Like, what's his name? Chiwetel. Like that was like one of the earlier movies he was in. Like, he was in like Four Brothers, Inside Man, like that. And it was just kind of like, I remember like that was around the time I was like, dude, this guy's coming up.
Yeah.
Like, I'm seeing this.
Yeah. And it's insane. Speaking of him, like with Idris, Chiwetel, these British dudes, like, the better American accent. Like,
I was saying that about something the other day. I forget what it was.
and he had his North Carolina accent. Like,
They, as the British people, do better American accents than Americans do British accents.
oh yeah, well, yeah.
Well, yeah, I guess. I
Hey.
don't know.
Don Cheadle, that was just horrific accent in the Ocean movies.
Yeah, I don't count that. There's some good ones.
No, there is.
People mix up their British accent. Like, you're supposed to, there's like the Cockney accent.
Australian.
And then there's like soft. There's like Cockney is like Idris Elba, like the real over the top, like pirate.
Right.
Or like Adele has like a real thick Cockney accent.
Yeah.
That's what most people just think is a British accent. So like,
Right.
can you do that? They'll be like, hello, and it's like, no, that's not right. Try
Oh,
that
wait.
again.
There's a lot of dialects, yeah.
Right.
But that's the same with the U.S. It's just you never see that representation in American movies. For
You
sure.
sound like
enough.
you're from
There's
London.
so many dialects.
Yeah.
Supposedly, I guess Randy would know. Supposedly, there's a Midwest accent, and these
Yeah, sure.
Texans
Yeah,
bring
sure.
it up. I'm like, because there's certain things we say, like we don't call soda, we call it pop.
I call it whatever I'm
That's what
drinking.
I would call it pop too. Like as a Canadian, when I call any American, I'm always like, wow, this is such a thick accent. But it's probably just any typical, American state. But to me, it's very strong, and maybe I sound that way to them. I don't know.
Yeah, but no,
Some
it's
people have Canadian accents.
Yeah, there's Canadian
I don't-
accents,
you
especially
really-
the far east you go.
Yeah.
I'm in Toronto, so it's too cosmopolitan here. But the farther east you go, you can really hear it.
Yeah. But anyway,
yeah. Insist.
American Gangster.
Yeah.
What'd you say, Nick?
American Gangster.
Yeah.
And everyone
Insist. Infringement. I don't appreciate those words no more. I appreciate the word thank you coming up in my establishment.
You go do the
But this is like, what is he talking about?
I just love how you guys like Eric loves this movie. I do. I guess I want to see it. I don't know.
It's a good one. You dab my shit. And he's cleaning the blood
Yeah.
out of the car.
Yeah, that's 100% alpaca. You don't block it.
You don't block.
Block that shit.
That's a good one. That's a good one. And I remember it being like very popular. Like, I remember like kids at school. I was like, "What are y'all going to see?" Like, that was just always my thing. We're going to the movies. I'm like, "Ooh, what are you seeing?" It was like American Gangster. And I was like, "Hell yeah!"
Yeah.
The Jay-Z album around the same-
I'm going to see B movie.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Hell yeah! Like
Fred
a
Claus.
Fucking A.
I haven't seen Body of Lies yet.
Me neither.
I haven't seen Body of Lies since it came out, but I remember thinking it was like
Yeah.
fun. I do own it, and like I will rewatch it.
Yeah.
Like I will do like a RidleyScott like watch-a-thon one day. But I mean, I think it was fine. It's probably not as good as like you would think it would be. Like
Russell Crowe and
Like,
Leo.
when they like market a movie with just the last names, like it's supposed to be the best shit. Where it's like Crow,
DiCaprio.
DiCaprio, fuck the plot, and it's like yes. I remember
That's
thinking like
nuts when
I remember thinking it was like fine.
I know I'm skipping ahead here, but technically, I guess because of COVID, which is why Ridley got 2 movies coming out this year. Because
Yeah.
I assumed The Last Duel would have came out because he like a movie every year, every other year.
I think
from
The
now
Last
on.
Duel was supposed to be last Thanksgiving
Yeah.
or
So it's
Christmas.
basically, man, this dude.
It would have done better last year.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Oh man.
I remember.
Can I tell a 2-minute story about Prometheus?
Oh yes.
No, we have to Robin Hood first.
I have a story about that too, but I feel like the Prometheus one's funnier. And I was like, oh, I shouldn't tell this story. My friend was like, no, tell it. I don't care. Tell it. Give my full name. I really don't care. So when it came out, and then like, you know, back in the day, we would like get a bootleg somehow. So it was like 6 of us at my brother's condo, and we rented out the condo room, or like we just book it. And the theater room, sorry. So you get like a big screen, you get the big seats, and we're like, yeah, we're gonna watch Prometheus, like a bootleg copy, so it was like bad quality. And our friend Max, instead of like saying, no, let's not do this, he wanted to see it in great quality and like wait for for it to really come out. So instead of protesting, he just like got so drunk that he would forget what he watched, so that when it really came out, he could see it in all its glory.
Fresh.
The problem was he got way too drunk, and he got like sick, and we were in the condo's theater room, and we were like, oh my god, we can't have him like throwing up in here. So we all had to take care of him, bring him back to my brother's place, and that's why I never saw Prometheus until like yesterday.
Wow.
So every time I hear the name Prometheus, I laugh, because that is just like a classic Max story of why would you do that? Why would you not just say,
Yeah.
I want to see another movie? No, like, this is the way I'm going to solve this problem. Yeah, it's just drink. Anyway, so I finally saw it, but man, you guys should have told me that's not my kind of movie. Not for me.
Like, I like Prometheus, but I just remember, like, we used to go see midnight movies. And, like, back when I was staying, like, 2012, it was like, I saw, like, every movie at midnight. And so many of my friends wanted to see Prometheus. We filled an entire row of the theater.
Yeah, you see? The anticipation for this movie?
We were so stoked. And we all left, and we were all like, that was cool.
Yeah.
That was cool.
Yeah.
Like, it didn't live up to, like, the trailer. The trailer was like,
Yeah.
and it was like, oh, it's an Alien sequel, oh, shit. And then it was just like,
Yeah, he was trying to downplay that it was connected, like it was an Alien prequel. It was like the worst kept secret in Hollywood at the time.
Yeah.
what was it? Charlize Theron like running from the big rolling thing. She's like running. And it was like, why wouldn't you just go to the right?
Go to the side.
Yeah, just like run that way. And she's like, no. I was like, this isn't Indiana Jones. Like you can run over there. Like you're on a big planet or whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I like Prometheus. Like I like it.
Let me see.
It's like a 3.
But
It's
yeah, when you say it kind of sucks, word, I totally agree.
Like it kind of sucks. Like it's kind of horseshit. I
Yeah.
like it.
I
like the cast.
remember. Let me see. I remember Robin
The
Hood
cast is
since we're
fantastic. It just, I
Yeah.
feel like it didn't really live up.
brushing
Yeah.
right over Robin Hood. I
Sorry.
remember it being good.
Really?
So Robin Hood.
Yeah,
I like Robin Hood.
yeah. It's good. It was like it was Batman Begins for Robin Hood. He wasn't Robin Hood yet.
Yeah, but he was like 48. Like it was just kind of like Robin Hood prequel with like Russell Crowe.
Yeah.
He's like already aged. Like that was kind of like bullshit. But I thought the movie was good, and they acted like there were going to be sequels to it. I was like,
Yeah.
I guess like, that was pretty cool. It was like the first time I remember seeing Oscar Isaac in anything.
Yeah,
Oh
Oh.
wow, that's right.
that's what I told you guys when we broke off
Yeah.
at the end of last episode.
Yeah.
Yeah, Prometheus is good. I think the counselor might have been a hiccup. Like it's fine. It's nothing to sing home about.
People hate that movie.
Yeah.
I know people that hate it, and I know people that like love it. Like
Oh,
it,
okay. I didn't know
Really?
a
that.
lot of people have reassessed it since it's come out and been like, dude, it's amazing. I've never seen it. I've owned it since it came out, and it's another one that I just missed the boat. Like, I didn't ever watch it. I will.
And then like
But I do know people that think it's like, I've seen people say that it's like one of his best movies. They were like, it's so bucks and crazy. And I'm like,
Okay, I didn't know that. Because like that cast is like, if you could dream up a cast for me, I would love it. But I heard such bad reviews, so I never bothered. So now you're making me think. I don't know.
It's on my list, but
The part that Randy told me about does not make me excited to see it.
I don't know. See, I don't know if
Cameron Diaz.
it makes me excited. I I remember. I think Exodus, Gods and Kings is like his attempt at like that biblical epic. I remember it being kind of boring.
I didn't think it was boring. I thought it was like I've always liked, I'm not like a religious guy, but I've always liked the story of Moses.
Heathen.
So like for that, like, I think the Ten Commandments was cool to me, like as a kid, and then like the Prince of Egypt I always thought was great. So like as that, like a retelling of that, I thought it was really good. But it's just like at that point in time, like this was like 2014. It's not like it was like 2001, like the 90s. At that point in time, I remember going in and being like, everyone's white. Like,
Yeah.
At that time, not long ago, and I was just like, Sigourney Weaver,
Hey.
Cleopatra, whoever the fuck, like she's like one of the people.
Hey man, well Muhammad so and so was not gonna draw people in. So.
No.
Ridley's so stubborn. He's such a stubborn guy.
He's been on that bullshit for years. Like every time something doesn't really hit, he's like, "Well, you know what the fucking problem is?
Yes.
Muhammad so and so couldn't be in the movie," and it's like, I don't know. You could have just done it.
Yeah. If anybody could have. And it's interesting that he, as an atheist, did this movie.
Really?
Little. And like it's kind of like
I don't like that shit.
It's
I don't like people that don't have like a religious like connection doing religious themed shit. That's why like I really don't fuck with Noah. Like Darren Aronofsky come out and said that he doesn't.
Weird. I remember watching Noah. My buddy is real Christian. Like he holds real traditional Christian value.
Wait, is this the guy who criticized Wolf of Wall Street?
No, that was.
Okay.
But
I'll never forget that story.
I was like watching Noah, and I just remember texting. I was like, "Bruh, this is what y'all believe." Like I was just ripping into it. I was like, "Dude, I'm sorry, I haven't read the book." I was like, "This is what y'all believe. Like, is this shit in the book?" He's like, "Well, what's happening?" And I was like, "There's rock people.
Yeah,
rocks."
That's where it all fell apart for me. He's like, man, this shit isn't in the Bible.
Wait, what happened with rocks, please?
But they came to life.
Made of rocks, like walking around, like what? I don't know. Like,
as the Bible says, and I'm kidding, I know.
And I was like, "Oh, that's my favorite part of the Bible." He was like, "No, that's not the story." And I was like, "Yeah, but the story is putting all the animals on the ark, and that's weird too." And he's like, "Yeah, but it's more the symbolism." I was like, "Whatever." Exodus isn't as weird as Noah.
No.
This really isn't that weird. Like it's kind of like it like sticks to the story.
Yeah, it's pretty paint by numbers as far as the everything with Moses and all that.
Yeah, like it changes a few things. But I remember thinking like the effects were really good, like the part.
Okay.
Like I remember like that was cool.
That just popped up in the episode. Thank you, Eric.
Nah, they didn't see it. We won't see it.
YouTube gonna see that shit.
You screen record.
Yeah. Did we talk?
Melissa and Nick, like, what the hell?
Did we talk about The Martian on wax, or was that before we started recording?
No, that was before.
Okay. Yeah, I love The Martian. That's top 3.
What? I thought we were recording. What?
I don't remember.
No, I don't think we were. I think that was before. Were we? No, I don't think we were.
He started recording like right as I joined.
Yeah, that's interesting.
That's true.
Well, anyway, another 2-movie year, right?
What? 15?
Yeah.
No.
The Alien Covenant.
That was 17.
Alien Covenant of 17.
Get with the program.
No, I'm thinking of
that was a 2-movie year.
World.
Yeah, that was a 2-movie year.
A good 2-movie year.
Yeah. So The Martian.
The comedy classic.
The comedy classic, asshole.
One asshole stuck on a planet.
So did Matt Damon get a Best Actor Oscar nod?
Probably.
Yeah.
Holy.
Yeah, he did.
I mean, I don't disagree.
He's good in The Martian.
There was a stretch where like great like astronaut movies were coming out, and I only put Gravity over The Martian.
Yeah.
I think I would put like between like Gravity, Interstellar, The Martian. I'd probably put The Martian number 1.
No,
Yeah.
I'm an Interstellar fan for sure.
Gravity is cool.
They're all good. I mean, I can't see anything bad. I mean, they're all good movies.
Matt Damon was in 2 of them.
Wow. Yeah.
Spoilers.
Yeah.
7-year-old
Man,
spoilers.
if they haven't seen Interstellar by now,
7-year-old
Yeah.
spoilers.
No spoiler, he's in it. There's a lot of
Yeah.
people in it. But I like The Martian. The Martian has like an ensemble, okay? It doesn't really get like credit for its ensemble.
right.
Like,
Jeff Daniels,
Jeff Daniels, like,
Sean
there's a
Bean.
ton of-
Kristen Wiig, Kate Mara.
Childish
Yeah.
Gambino.
yeah.
I'm sorry,
Michael
Donald Glover.
Pena is in every movie. Like anytime there's like an ensemble with something, it's like Michael Pena.
You got to check the box.
He's in the one about the moon.
There's a really hilarious scene in the movie with Donald Glover. That's an accident. It's in the scene that introduces him in his dorm or whatever. When he gets up and he trips and falls real hard,
Jesus.
and pops back up.
Oh,
Y'all gotta watch.
that was an
It's
accident?
actually, that was an accident. If you remember it.
Probably
but
the only funny part, and it's not even scripted.
Well, yeah.
The Hollywood
But yeah,
Foreign
that's real fast and loose that they
They
just
were like,
wanted to fit it in there. But other than that misdescription, I think it's a good movie. It's not bad.
I remember.
through that movie to see if there were comedy parts, so they could nominate like the Danish Girl or whatever the fuck. They were like, nominate for drama. It's like there's got to be something funny in The Martian. It's got to be funnier than Mad Max. They were like, screw it.
Let me see. And next up, I remember watching videos at the end of the year, 2017, and one or two had like Alien Covenant on their like worst of the year. Alien Covenant is pretty damn good.
I thought it was better than Prometheus.
Yeah.
And like maybe it's not as ambitious as Prometheus, but I thought it was like a better like I was more into it. Like I was like, oh, this is like an alien movie. We're not tiptoeing around it.
Yeah.
I have not watched it since the theater, though. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, I mean,
Definitely.
yo, did Ridley
Mm-hmm.
Scott dump Michael Fassbender as his golden boy for Adam Driver? Tell the truth.
I hope so.
Maybe.
Whoa.
Because he would like 1, 2. He was in like 3 of his 5 straight movies.
What?
Michael
I
Fassbender
love
kind of fell
Prometheus.
off though.
He was in the council. He was like the guy in the council.
Oh,
Yeah.
gosh, yeah.
Fassbender kind of just faded back from Hollywood for a little bit.
Good.
Yeah.
Somebody got beef with Michael Fassbender.
But you know what?
I think Adam Driver's very talented. I mean, I don't know how those movies turned out, but I'm a big fan.
They're both good.
of Adam
Yeah.
Driver.
Adam Driver has one of the best SNL skits in the last 5 years.
Yeah, I know what you're gonna say. Yeah.
And if you haven't seen it, Melissa, the classroom one, right?
What? Sorry.
The classroom skit.
Oh no, I was thinking of the one where he was like he's his character
Kylo.
in Star Wars, but yeah, Kylo
Okay, so
Ren.
he has 2 of the best. I forgot
That's
about
the
the Kylo
best
Ren.
one. Undercover Boss.
Yeah.
That's Kylo Ren.
Undercover Boss. Yeah, I forgot about that one. So 2
It's down here to
That's
do some-
genius. I'm sorry, I gotta watch the school one again. I don't know.
got off. I'm gonna send it to you. But
Yeah.
off track, I'm curious. I didn't like Alien Covenant that much, to be honest. I think it came off as a big budget, just bad slasher. Characters and that were stupid, doing silly things. And, like I was
The
clapping when he
nerd.
died.
Oh,
The
but how do you
nerd
really feel?
Watch of
No.
Tenet.
Now don't get me wrong.
is
it's never
Laughing
terrible.
when they die.
Ridley's involved in this show that's eventually coming out, right?
Yeah. I want to see the story be completed.
Yeah.
Like for real.
I'm pretty sure I heard Disney has like ideas for like future Alien movies, but like FX is doing this show that I think Ridley's involved in.
Because Covenant wasn't a flop, but it wasn't
No.
like a humongous.
Yeah,
Gigantic.
it was like 30-some million, like number one, and everybody was like, I guess that's okay for the middle of fucking summer.
Yeah.
It was May.
I remember thinking it was like cool. Like, I remember like it.
Yeah.
But I think I would give like Prometheus like a 3, and I think I've got Covenant at like a 3.5. So I was like, yeah, a little bit. It was more like a alien movie. like maybe it's not. A rewatch would fix that.
Yeah, it's there's a scene in Alien Covenant that somebody put the Benny Hill music over and it fits perfectly. And it's just like, wow, this character was really stupid. It probably deserved to die. Without, I don't want to get spoilers. I guess it's kind of still.
I don't care. Go ahead.
Well, in the room when the character who accidentally blew up the ship. Now I know y'all remember that part.
Vaguely.
The chain of events that happened. I'm just gonna send y'all a scene and like, wow, this is these are some really stupid characters in this movie. But anywho, yeah, it's I give 2.5. It's not.
You dumb bitch.
It was but it was kind of like that with this character, Randy. Like man, like the Always Sunny in Philadelphia. I'm sure y'all seen that little clip with like you dumb.
Nah.
Nick, you know what I'm talking.
I've never gotten into Always Sunny.
But anywho, that's
dude. When he's it's what's his name driving in the car. Like, oh, you.
Yeah, that one. Eating it like you dumb. But yeah, that's. And then the next 3 movies, honestly, I haven't seen yet.
Yeah, I haven't seen All the Money in the World yet either.
Yeah, I haven't seen the new ones. I know Nick and Randy have seen everything.
But we can discuss the controversy with that one.
I own All the Money in the World with Kevin Spacey in it.
Where'd you get that?
Man, don't worry about my connections.
Oh my god.
You just got a copy.
Why would you want that connection?
But that's crazy though.
Same thing as like Jared Leto. Like at the time, like it was like, why would they have put Kevin Spacey in all these prosthetics? They could have just gotten an old guy.
Oh,
Yeah.
thank you. I hate when they do that. I hate that.
And the slap in the face, Christopher Plummer is replacing him, then gets nominated for an Oscar.
No shit.
Y'all haven't even seen the movie. And I haven't watched it since the theater, but I saw it in the theater and thought it was great. I thought it was a really good movie. Great cast.
Oh, wow.
Christopher Plummer kills that shit. Like it's seamless. You don't even notice. Like it's like, dude, I can't even imagine someone else playing.
The controversy broke out in like October, and he had like a month or less to do that
for the reshoots.
Yeah.
He passed a few months ago, and I was like, he was old. He was like 91, something like that. Like, R.I.P. I was like, dude, yeah, that's old. But he was doing that was like 3-4 years ago. Like I was like, he had. Enough energy to do that. Like he did Knives Out. Like
I was about to say Knives Out.
Wow.
So I was like, why did? That's why it was still surprising, even as old as he was.
He was still getting it.
Canadian.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's crazy.
That shit.
That's really good to know, Nick. Thank you. I wanted to know because I had no idea if the movie was good or not. But so much controversy, right?
I could use a rewatch. I haven't watched it since the theater, but I just like it was. I thought it was like one of the more underrated movies of 2017. Like it didn't get.
And then like, not spoiling these 2 movies that just came out. Like they're both very good.
Yes, I think one of them was good and one was very entertaining.
Yeah, that's a better description.
I feel like Duel got a lot of good reviews, whereas Gucci is more mixed, right?
The last Duel, like we've said this on Wax over the past couple months, Nick specifically, like the storytelling device that the last Duel uses is insanely great.
Really cool.
Yeah.
And it's not what I thought it was going to be. Like I don't know what I thought it was going to be, but I was like, oh, this is different. I just thought it was more like, I don't know. I don't really know what I was expecting.
Like House of Gucci is just like Lady Gaga just like acting her ass off. It's her movie and everybody else is just there.
I'm surprised you really liked it.
I did.
Like some people really didn't. I don't know. It's interesting.
It's so entertaining. Like I've read negative reviews and been like, yeah. I've read a lot of the Jared Leto critiques and I've been like, but to me anyway, it's like 2.5 hours long, and sometimes like that's pushing it. Like when a movie's that long, it's like good lord.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't care about the length. The whole I was into the whole story. It wasn't confusing. I was like, it was never boring.
It's never boring.
I never thought in a second that House of Gucci was even slightly.
Nice. So tell me this, Nick,
Honestly.
Nick and Randy, between those two movies, who's gonna get the most Oscar love? Y'all think?
I think Jewel. Sorry.
I think House of Gucci will get the most. Like, I think Lady Gaga's a shoe.
Yeah.
For at least a nomination, if not a win. I don't know.
Yeah.
Wow.
I think Leto could get a Best Supporting Actor nomination. I
He
think.
might break the rule. I mean, not break the rule. He might set a record. He might get a Razzie and an Oscar now.
Yeah.
The same year.
Yeah, because Nick says Razzie.
Whether we think it's good or not, I think I see him getting a Razzie. It's the most over the top shit you can imagine. Like in a movie, everything about the movie is slightly like a little exaggerated to like soap opera kind of level. Like it's just a little, like they dial it up just a little to make it more.
I don't know.
Like everything all dramatic, and then he comes in and it's like Alec Baldwin doing Trump. Like it comes in and it's the most over the top.
Yeah, that's not wrong.
Kind of like.
I think Adam Driver could be in the discussion for either movie. I don't know if he'll get it, but he could.
Oh yeah.
Adam Driver, I would make the argument in House of Gucci that he is like the anchor.
Yeah.
Lady Gaga doesn't overact. I don't think she overacts. Everything she does is
she's a force.
Flawless.
Yeah.
It's necessary for her character. It's like, like Sunset Boulevard or something. Like it's necessary.
Yeah.
Like you watch like old Judy Garland stuff when she was like really on her bullshit. That's Lady Gaga in House of Gucci. Like it's like, but it's necessary. Adam Driver is never over the top in any way. Even his accent is like subtle. To me, that's a great performance.
Yeah.
To the Academy, not notice it on the same level when you've got Al Pacino screaming over here. And Jared
I was just about to ask. The
No,
funny thing is,
no.
if y'all said it off air, you got the notorious overactor Al Pacino, and somebody else is out overacting him in the same movie.
I would say that Al Pacino overacted in House of Gucci. He chews a lot of scenery.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Overacts. Like he sells that character. To me, it was just that character, like, Uncle whatever. Jared Leto is overacting in House of Gucci. There is no, even if it's good, like I don't think it's a bad.
So tell me this: is it Family Guy, Bobbity Boopy overacting?
It's literally the bibbidi bobbidi. Like he is like the Mario. It's like the Super Mario accent. Nobody else does this accent. Everyone else is like, I'm not a particularly ethical person, but I am fair.
But
like,
I am fair.
Is he doing the hunched up shoulders and the what do you mean? Wow. I can't wait to see this.
But
now.
I'm
you
sorry,
guys
like,
got me excited to see it.
I loved it.
So that's a good thing.
I really enjoyed the movie. Like I said, even with its flaws and its like ridiculousness, was so in it.
I'm buying into that cousin was that extra in real life. I don't care if he was or not.
He didn't even look like that. Like I googled, like a guy. Like he kind of he had a mustache and like a little bit of like hair in his back, like bald. But,
yeah, he had a cul-de-sac for sure.
He kind of looked like like Dr. Phil. Like, he didn't look like
he does.
Leto does what he wants.
I guess. I think, and I'm like people like I think Jared Leto overall, like I think he's a very interesting actor. Like same with Adam Driver. It's like they make really interesting choices.
Yeah.
But I'm like this. I was just kind of like, what the fuck? It's like it's almost like he's in a different movie up until like the end. Like some of those end scenes, he was a little more reeled in, and I thought it like kind of fit the tone almost at that point.
I mean,
like,
the way
table, like he was just like
that sit down where Jeremy Irons and Al Pacino were talking about their sons, and then we meet Jared Leto. I thought like that's what he was describing.
Jeremy Irons didn't even have an accent. Like through most
No.
of it, like he went in and out. And by the time he was out, he was just Scar. Like he was just Jeremy Irons, just talking. I am Italian. And I was like, I guess.
Yeah, Ridley's casting choices are always huge question marks. Like most of the time, I feel like.
I read like a tweet. It was like a tweet review or something like that, and they said Ridley Scott is by no means a can't miss director. And I was like, yeah, that's fair. Like, he's not
Yeah.
a kid. But he goes for it, like, most of the time.
Yeah.
Like, I think, like, House of Gucci is, like, a huge... Like, he really went for it with House of Gucci. And I enjoyed more than I did.
Interesting. Well, you
But
guys
the-
have got me very curious, for sure.
Yeah.
The Last Duel is a better movie,
Yeah.
Mm.
but I was talk about House of Gucci, like, the rest of the show. Like, I'd rather just sit and talk
Yeah.
about how...
Well, that's sad because it's time to wrap it up, guys.
Yeah, we're done.
2 weeks from now is the 12th of December. Really the only window before the end of the year we have to talk anything Christmas. So we'll come up with something in the next 2 weeks. I'm going to close this out, come back, wrap it up, put a nice little gift bow on it. It's Rec League. Yo, here before long, I'm gonna politic the circuits. Y'all don't know me, just what you observe up on the surface. Oh, they heard I rap, they act like I'm in the circus. I don't rap for free, buy a ticket purchase. For these other rappers, it's curtains, I make them nervous, they worthless. I'm not Jay Prince, but I rap a lot. That one simple line done been jacked a lot. They know it's my time, that's why everybody watching. They not trying to catch the hands, but I'm gonna have to clock them. Don't worry about me unless you my motherfucking spouse. I want that Breaking Bad pie. Pizza on the house. I'm counting on today. Y'all tomorrow with your funds. But just like yo bitch, tomorrow never comes. Tomorrow never dies. Randy never lies. Y'all talk too fucking much. About to ruin the surprise. You soft ass rappers. Chewy Chips Ahoy ass rappers. It's on me to train y'all Jurassic World with the Raptors. And chill until the next episode.